Story 1. My ex-boyfriend told me he will cheat on me while we were having sex. Make sure to like and subscribe if you enjoy. Thanks. I was unaware that I was required to provide an update so quickly. However, my stupid brainless ex-partner has finally offered a justification for why he made that statement. Because I am still considering it, I believe it would be beneficial for you to be aware of it. Therefore, he sent me a text message late last night and told me that he wants to apologize for what he has done. He told some of his friends in the hopes that they would support him, but the majority of them thought he was crazy and stupid after hearing what he had to say. Therefore, I arranged for us to meet at an unspecified eatery. After what he has done, I will not put myself in danger by allowing him to enter my house. I also took his belongings and put them in a bag. I have had enough of him. Whatever justifications he may have, they are not sufficient to excuse the actions that he took. Therefore, we got together today for lunch. As soon as he saw the bag that was full of his belongings, he immediately apologized and begged for forgiveness. He told me he made a mistake. It was incredibly naive of him to believe that this would have any effect on me. It wasn't until his friends called him a psycho for saying something like that he realized he had made a mistake in his thinking. I queried him about the rationale behind his belief that something similar could actually be successful. That cretin provided the most incomprehensible justification in the annals of human history. He has been listening to a lot of manosphere podcasts, particularly those that offer guidance on finances. He started following a very notorious individual who is currently serving time in prison for the crime of human trafficking. I can't say his name because I was once warned not to, but I'm sure you all are familiar with him. He is as simple as a tater tot. My ex-boyfriend has informed me that he watched one of his videos in which he instructs on how to reprogram a woman. Because of this, he has been avoiding sexual activity and only giving me intimate moments at random times when I was extremely exposed to risk. Oh, and the scene in which he strangles me and then threatens, "I will cheat on you," was also taken from that video of tater tots. My knucklehead of an ex-girlfriend shared with me that if you tell a girl that you will cheat on her right before she is about to finish something, it will be ingrained in her mind. Therefore, the next time you cheat on her or mention cheating, it will make her want to have sexual relations with you, and she won't put up much of a fight. Look, I've been doing this for a while now. I've been attending online classes in computer programming. However, I am absolutely certain that this is not how the programming process works. But, whatever the case may be, I don't know whether to laugh or cry right now. I questioned him about the motivations behind his decision to make the statement. He admitted to me that he was concerned that I would cheat on him, so he wanted to plant this idea in my mind so that I would never consider cheating on his behalf. However, he makes a solemn oath that he will not cheat on. Yeah, sure, I believe that. The temperature in my veins soared. I had the urge to yell, but I restrained myself and kept it all in. When it was all over, I stood up and said to him, "You should know by now that it does not. As a word of advice, you should stop following a person who engages in human trafficking, and you should stop taking relationship advice from a guy who is toxic and has an intelligence level comparable to that of a potato. In that case, you will have no choice but to spend the rest of your miserable existence going on dates with your right hand." He whimpered and begged for a second chance, but I told him that I would rather have my head stuck in a hornet's nest than give an indecent man-child like him a second chance. I would rather have my head stuck in a hornet's nest. He is 28. Even though he is nearly in his 30s, he continues to listen to men like Tater Tot. He does not possess a personality of his own. He just borrowed his from a sex trafficker. So, that wraps things up. I still can't believe I dated a tater tot for a while. I feel as though I need to take a few showers right now. I didn't even bother to ask him whether or not he was cheating, but does it really make a difference now? Story 2. My mom cried when I tried to explain how she wasn't the best parent to me and I hate her for it. My mother 28F was not the best example of a parent for me 50F. She met all of the bare minimum requirements of a parent, but she completely ignored any and all of the child's emotional needs. Due to the diagnoses of my younger brothers, who were twins and 24 months old at the time, I was essentially abandoned as a child. Because they were falling short of certain developmental milestones at the age of 1, they required weekly visits from a physical therapist who came to their home. They were evaluated and given a diagnosis of autism in the early elementary years. Due to the fact that they are high-functioning, they experienced some delays in speech when they were younger, and testing delays when they were in high school. They were given extra time for tests and had an IEP. They are mature adults who have achieved healthy levels of adjustment and lead typical lives. My entire childhood was spent worrying about what those diagnoses would be, putting forth maximum effort in any and all areas that contributed to their development. When she wasn't taking care of my brothers, she was probably getting some shut-eye. When I was a child, adults were always commenting on how independent I was and how resilient I was. I did not have a choice in the matter, because my mother made it abundantly clear that I was not the priority from the time I was 5 years old. I kept to myself and did my own thing. I am not independent, rather, I am an introvert who struggles with feelings of abandonment. I am not resilient, rather, I am a people pleaser who, despite being 28 years old, still struggles with setting boundaries and saying no to other people. My mother is very fond of using other people's diagnoses to justify her behavior and garner sympathy from her contemporaries. She enjoys the focus that is placed on her. I keep to myself, have gone LC. If you want to see her, the only time you should do so is at one of the birthday parties that I throw for my two children. One of my brothers is trying to save money by staying at home with our mother, while the other one has moved out to live with his girlfriend and the couple's child. My mother has asked me this question on and off throughout the course of the previous year. The vast majority of the time, I avoid providing a direct response and instead offer platitudes such as "you did your best" or "as parents, we always know there is room for improvement." However, as of late she has been pushing for better and more honest answers. Therefore, I was forthright. I claimed that she was wonderful for my brothers, but she ignored me completely. That response was not satisfactory to her. The floodgates opened before I had even a chance to begin explaining. She bawled her eyes out and said that I had been her shadow up until my brothers were born. That although she loved me, she couldn't love my brothers because they have autism. She gave it her absolute best shot, and as a mother myself, I have faith in that answer. Then I changed the subject after letting her cry it out and getting it off her chest. Since then, I haven't brought it up again. While I was given no resolution to the matter, she received comfort. She never does enough for me, but she goes above and beyond for those other people. I forgive her because I am her daughter, but as her mother, I just don't understand many of the decisions that she makes. I believe that every girl deserves to have an incredible mother, just as I did deserve to have an incredible mother.